Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always. I'm really sorry guys for this delay. There's been absolutely massive technical problems with this today. I've had everything set up, but it's unbelievable. It's been so stressful the last half hour. It really has. But I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I'm hoping you guys are okay. As always, my name is John, your host. And welcome to episode 57 of the Daily Live Chat with John, where we talk about mostly West Ham stuff, but a few other little bits and pieces in here. So, guys, let's crack on straight away with who's in the chat. First and foremost, Richie, hello mate, hope you're doing all right. Rick, hello guys, hope you're all right. Eden, hello mate, good to see you. Nick, hello mate. Sophianne, hey, hello geezer. Mark, hello mate, good to see you all. John's computer isn't working. No, mate, as I say, it's this freaking thing. It's unbelievable. The laptop, by the way, the new laptop, by the way, has come. It has been delivered, and I'm in the process of setting it up. But yeah, honestly, this thing here, I'm so glad I'm keeping this as a background computer, man, because this is everything has possibly gone wrong to try and get this set up. It has gone wrong today, guys. But thank you very much to everybody sticking around. Sophie says, honestly, John, your daily chats have been one of the best things about lockdown. Thank you very much. Dusty, hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Guys, try and check out Dusty. For those who are, as we would call in the UK, hipsters, big beards, check out Dusty's channel. I've been mentoring him the last week or so. We've had a few things. We've swapped a few ideas over with each other and stuff. So go out and go check his channel. It's really good channel. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Thank God you're getting a new laptop tomorrow. As I say, mate, it's here. But just a few things I need to sort out with it. This isn't recognized by the laptop yet, so I need to double check exactly how I can get that all sorted out. But it's happening. It's coming. So as always, guys, let's start off first and foremost by talking about non-West Ham stuff. So we can actually just give you guys a little bit more information up and running with what's going on. Now the World Health Organization has said that basically the largest single day increase of the coronavirus in the 24-hour period. The article goes waffling on, if I'm honest with you, but it basically goes on to say it's a very long article, a lot of boring bits of information in there, as you can pretty much imagine. I mean, this is like, for example, there were I said in South Korea, there 17 new cases. The first time daily increase fell under 20 in nearly a month, which is good news. The country had been reporting 40 to 50 new cases per day in a few weeks, increased public activity, etc. But and Mark, I'm hoping you'll be able to back me up on this, or where it says this here. In Northern Ireland on Sunday, there were 4 new cases confirmed through conducting health test labs in the region, taking the total recorded by labs since the outbreak began to 4,870. And then the latest figures came a day after the labs reported no new confirmed cases of coronavirus for the first time since lockdown. In the Republic, there were 6 confirmed cases of virus on Sunday, taking it to 25,379 in total since the outbreak began. So you know, there's a bit in here about Brazil. Said on Sunday, the World Health Organization reported the largest single day increase in coronavirus cases by its count, at more than 183,000 cases in Brazil in 24 hours. Brazil tallied 54,771. And the US was next at 36,617. The UN Health Agency said India reported more than 15,400 cases. This is a bad sign. I haven't been able to see what the UK one is. Let me just see let me just double check that now for you guys while we're talking. But you know, it's. I mean, there's nothing on the BBC website. I mean, if what it says here is the UK coronavirus cases fall to a pre-lockdown level. Apparently, on Sunday, only 15 people died. Where else? The UK recorded its lowest number of daily confirmed coronavirus cases at 958. It's still quite a lot, but it's been well in the thousands over the last few weeks. And then the number of daily deaths fell to just 15. However, the number of deaths are often lower on Mondays due to report lags over the weekend. But still, it's been really good. It's been looking good to do some stuff, and it's gonna, there are going to be further reductions coming into the lockdown in the next day or so. Rostis says, hello John, what's up? Good to see you. Mark says, honestly, no idea. Stop watching the news. It's depressing. Agreed. Dusty says he's at work. Hit me up late. I've got a huge video to do tonight. Yeah, be safe, mate. Thanks for popping in. You could be classed as the jinx there, Dusty, because everything's been fine apart from tonight, and this is the first time you popped on. So, but all seriousness, mate, take care of yourself. We'll speak later. But we have to say we have spoken recently about the fact that there's going to be more measures being eased in the coming days. So this apparently is going to happen tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Right, talking of tomorrow, as you guys I'm sure aware, the situation with Jeremy Ngaki's contract should be concluded by this time tomorrow. So will we find out what's happening? Maybe tomorrow before the game, or maybe Wednesday. Who knows? I'll obviously try and keep you guys posted as much as possible on this. But to be honest with you, I really can't wait for this to finish. I really can't. This has been a long haul of a lot of things, and it's unbelievable that how much this has dragged on. It really is unbelievable how long this has dragged on. It's been going on since the middle of May, so we're looking at 6 weeks now. 6 weeks. It's unbelievable what happened there. But guys, obviously, as you know, for those that have watched, thank you very much to everybody that's watched the preview of the Spurs game that went up after the broadcast yesterday. Thanks very much, guys. It's been nice numbers on there again. Not huge amounts by any stretch of the imagination, but of course, everybody's been putting their videos up over the last 24 hours or so. But yeah, thank you to everybody that's watched it. I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed it. And it's nice that we're 5 away from 1,550 subscribers before we went live. So guys, come on, let's talk to each other, let's discuss things. I mean, are you guys going to be happy when Ngaki's contract is resolved? I mean, what are your feelings on it? So while you guys are typing, let's have a look at what David Moyes was talking about. Basically in his post-match interview, we've all talked about parts of it. He said, I thought up until they brought Traore on, we defended quite well. I thought we'd limited them to not many opportunities. We were playing against a good team, and it felt like we were up against a good side, but I thought we were plugging away in the first half. Yes, I wouldn't say that much for the second half, but for the first half, agreed 100% with that. We'd done some things ourselves which were okay, but I think the difference was when Traore came on. It wasn't so much defending against Traore because of his pace and power. It's more disappointing that we didn't defend the cross as well because we work on it. We make sure we're in the right positions and areas to defend them. His power and pace are difficult to stop at times, so at least let's do the next bit if we can't stop that. We've just started. We've got tough games coming up, aka Chelsea and Spurs. But we've also got other games which might suit us a bit better. I think anyone who knows football might tell you that Wolves have been a very good side. That's an understatement. They've been terrific the last couple of seasons. He said, we felt as if we were a bit short up front today. We knew that if we were going to have to chase the game, it would be difficult, but felt as if we were doing okay. Then why not bring the strikers on? Why not bring the strikers on as we talked about yesterday, and as we talked about during the game? Why not bring Xande Silva on? Why not bring a Yeti on just to give it a bash? Honestly, we had 5 substitutes available yesterday. He bought them free. Sorry, that doesn't climb. That doesn't work with me whatsoever. Um, we were keeping at it and hoping that maybe something would come for us, but obviously a very strong and powerful winger came on for Wolves and it made a big difference. I thought Fornals' chance was a big opportunity for us. It was a chance where you're hoping that you hit the target and we do something with it. We want to make sure chances and we want to make more chances, and they made it hard for us to do that today. But again, the players stuck at it. We wanted to be better. We wanted to raise our standards. We want to play better, but for long periods we did okay. Yeah, but that's the point. But that's the point, though, David. Man, that's the whole bloody point. Is not doing just okay. It was clearly set up. It was clearly set up for a draw. We said it right from the start during the watch along. Clearly set up for a draw right from the start. We need to. The majority of the teams out there over the last few days have gone out absolutely guns blazing. They've gone out and they've really tried to hit teams hard. We didn't do that. We just sat back. Okay, we had a bit of an. He's right to a degree. We had a few chances in the first half, but nothing was doing from them. But at the same point, it just really gets my back up. Now, let's see what you guys are talking about. Resistis, this is the preview up. Yes, it went up at 8 o'clock last night, UK time. Mark says on the climb again, John. Yes, we are, mate, completely. Eden says, yes, I'm fed up of hearing about him. It's the same every story every time. I feel deflated about West Ham. Moyes' win rate is half of Pellegrini's, and we got rid of him. Yeah, we went through the win rates last night. I can't see him keeping us up. If he finds positives on Saturday, his subs are a joke. Agreed, mate. That's the thing. I don't agree in any shape or form that we should be going out there looking for a draw on the first game back, even though it's been a break for 3 months. There's just don't have it. Just don't do it. Just honestly, just go out, give us something to cheer about. Even though we're sitting at home, just give us something to cheer about. I mean, Moyes has said that. X has said that X has said that he feels that Alaire, Snodgrass, or Nogbona should be back. He said that late last night for the Spurs game. However, there was more information that came out earlier on this afternoon that confirms that Alaire is not even training yet. So it looks like he hasn't recovered from his groin strain. I think, given all the hoo-ha that around about things at the moment, I think we're just gonna have to ignore all the stories about the players and whatnot, and just see what happens tomorrow night. By which, of course, we will do the live stream as always, live watch along from 8 o'clock. We'll catch up with things. We'll talk about the team sheet while we're doing this broadcast tomorrow night. Of course, we'll get to see the team sheet at 7:15. So we'll talk about that when it comes up. But yeah, I'm really not looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm really not looking forward to it. As you probably may have noticed from watching the preview, I'm not looking forward to the game whatsoever. It's going to be absolutely painful. It's going to be a hard watch. But I hope you guys can join us, because I'm going to need all the support we can get, really, when we watch it together. Kent says, all right, JP, hello, mate. I mortally give us a chance versus Spurs. I fear a Tonkin. Mortally? You mean death? You death give us a chance? Can you just double check what you mean? Confirm what you mean by that, mate? Richie says, I would keep Ngakira as Fredericks and Zabaleta are no good, and we only have Ben Johnson at right back. That's not what we're talking about. Look, I know we were angry, but goal difference is a vital thing. So if we're going to lose, don't get battered. Agreed. But you just at least go out and have a bit of fight there, man. That's all we need. Just a bit of fight, a bit of determination, and not get 0-0 at half time. Fine, not a problem. But we sat back too much. And the stupid things about the stories that are coming out over the last few days is the fact that We were supposed to be playing a 4-4-2, even though everywhere completely confirmed that it was a 4-5-1, as you saw from the graphic I showed when we did the build up to it. But at the same point, he's clueless with his substitutions. He really is clueless with his substitutions. We talked about this last night. We had two strikers on the bench, and he didn't bring either of them. I don't understand that. I don't understand the logic behind that. As we said last night, when Traore is warming up, he should have got subs ready then. He really should, but he didn't. He fluffed it, without swearing too much. Richie says, Moyes set up not to lose. With that attitude, we have no chance of staying up. Agreed, you've got to be set up to win. You've got to at least try and win. Normally. Thanks, Kent. So yeah, just to reiterate what we were saying, I would normally give us a chance versus Spurs, but I'm fear of Tonkin. Mark says, sorry, disagree. If we can beat Chelsea away, we can beat Wolves. Mate, Chelsea were poor that day. They were absolutely poor. And we had a handful of chances, which we were able to take. I mean, it was a cracking goal from Creswell, absolutely cracking goal from Creswell. But Wolves a lot more organised than we were. That's all it was. The only reason why we beat Chelsea 1-0 is, as I say, we were, apart from Creswell's cracking goal, the defence was so solid that night. Hardly anything was getting through to David Martin. Hardly anything was getting through, and all the stuff that did get through, it was quite comfortable for him to get. I mean, even that double save, for example, was absolutely superb. I know what you mean, Mark. I know what you mean. We should have, but the difference is we had the mentality is totally different. We didn't go out with the same. We didn't go out with that game on Saturday with the mentality that we did to Chelsea away, and that's the stupid thing. And I guarantee you, when we play Spurs, or even when we play Chelsea at home, I've got a horrible feeling we'll set up in the same way. I really, really do. Gary asks, hello, mate, what's the news on injuries? We've literally just talked about it. There's no real news at the minute. Because we're gonna have to wait and see what develops tomorrow. Sofian says, yeah, that's true, but we didn't have a striker because Allaire was injured. I say we had two on the bench, mate. We had two on the bench. We had two strikers on the bench and didn't use them. Agreed. He brings on the right back instead. Yeah, like for like. Sofian says, you're right. Bloody hell, his grammar's right. Jesus. when Traore came on, he should have countered it by bringing on Masuaku. Masuaku's injured, mate. That's why he wasn't in the lineup. He wasn't even in the squad. Eden said, I would love to have seen Sunday Silva come on to give us some more attacking input. Agreed. Completely agreed. You know, that's what should have. That's what should have happened. Simple as that. As I say, we should have had Zonde on. We should have had a Yeti on. I'm not. We'll talk about him in a minute. Mark says, let's put in perspective. Norwich beat City, so anyone can beat anyone if you have a go. Agreed, and that's the point, Mark. We didn't have a go. That was the whole problem. We kind of went in going. We kind of went in going, right, we're 0-0. Let's just sit back and hold on to this point, and that's what damaged us. And especially the marking for the two goals, unbelievable. Snoddy has a disc in his back or something like that. Allaire isn't trained, and Ogbonna back in training. Bonner's back in training. Yeah, Snodgrass has got a twisted ankle and a back strain from what I remember. Richie says, has Moyes ever made a tactical sub? No, I don't think he has, mate. I really don't think he has. He's just made it. He made it. Substitutions made out of more contrition more than anything else. Sophie says, I don't know what he sees in Lanzini, to be honest. I think he sees a prime Dybala. Mate, we don't know what we see, what happens on the training ground. And that's half the problem. All right, is the fact that we don't get to see what those guys see in the training ground for whatever half a day wages as half a day training for whatever. But as I said at the end of the stream, I would have brought them straight back in yesterday morning, first thing in the morning. Get your training done, get your drills done, get your movements done, get your, work on your spacing. Not all this tittle tattle shit we're seeing on the videos that's going up from the club. Just have a plan. Do formation drills. Do marking drills. Don't fucking. I keep saying it. We keep zonal marking way too much. We should be man marking. It's does my head in. If we were man marking, that second goal wouldn't have happened. As I said, Diop should have taken responsibility for the first, but that second goal wouldn't have happened if we were man marking. It's as simple as that. It's a great proof of what I'm talking about. Gary says, I don't fancy Balbuena, etc. What they on the bench for? They have to be there, mate. If they're fit, they have to play because that's the rules. We have to have. We've got such a small squad that we have to have them on there. Sofiane says we don't have a plan B, for fuck's sake. Agreed. Mark says the annoying thing is he'll probably use the same tactics and negative mindset tomorrow night, and I'll throw my telly out the window. He said he didn't even look like he wanted to come on. Honestly, go back and watch it. He looked like he couldn't be bothered to come on and play. Lanzini, yeah. DT said this about Arsenal. The things they show from training are probably about 10% of what happens. I've mentioned that loads of times. They probably edit everything so they look good. Yeah, agreed. That's what I say. When the videos go up, because we talked about them a few weeks back when the original ones went out, I just just don't read too much into them because they're edited highlights. Eddie Chandler, hey up, copper. Plan B, Moyes doesn't even have a plan A. Agreed, Richie, completely. Where are we? Okay, so now in terms of information for Spurs, I was going to leave this for tomorrow night, but I thought we'd talk about it now. Ali and Mora are available for selection for Spurs, as I pretty much said in the preview anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of talk saying that Ali's not going to be chosen, but I've got a funny feeling he will be. Lucas Moura, very talented footballer as well. He's going to be very difficult for us to play against tomorrow. You watch. And again, it seems that the rumours are coming around that a Yeti is available to be sold. Well, if that's the case, then why not play him? Put him in the shop window. That's the thing. Just put him in the shop window. That's what we need. If we want to sell a player, then and we haven't got any strikers, fucking play him. Just play him. As simple as that. Just play him. If you want to just go out and get him some game time. He should have come on at this exact the same moment as say either use those last two substitutes. Yeah, as bring on take off, as I said, take off Anderson, put Bowen out on the wing, have Silva up front, take Anderson off, put Lanzini out on the wing, even though we know he doesn't work, but at least have Zande and Zande Silva and a Yeti up front, and that's it. Boom, done. 4-4-2. Go for it, but he just didn't do it. I don't understand why not. But having said that, guys, we've had 2 days to lament over this, and I really, really hope that Moyes has done the same thing. I really do hope he's done the same thing. Gary says the players look like they didn't believe in the tactics. If he's lost the dressing room, he's got to go. Have to use Nolan. I don't agree with that, Gary. Unfortunately, the reason being is because Nolan's not competent enough yet. He's not a properly proven manager. His attacking minds are brilliant. He's very analytical. Probably there's a very good argument to say that he's more analytical than Moyes is, but to put him in charge as caretaker, it will go horribly wrong, because if we get relegated, people are going to blame Nolan. You know how fickle the support is, guys. You know how bad our attitudes can be against former players. I mean, he's not an Alan Shearer. in that sort of standing, But he know as the guys on, I think it was Clarence Hugh Blue Army. I think Frankie and Baz were saying it this morning. Literally, the fact that he knows the Allardyce way, he doesn't know the West Ham way, or whoever said it, but he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Sophie says, actually, it's just a Panline version of Javier Hernandez, who we sold for absolutely no reason. We got so carried away with signing Allaire, so we thought we didn't need him. Agreed. I wouldn't say he's Poundland. That's a bit harsh, mate. I know you're trying to be funny, but that is a little bit harsh. But I know what you mean with it, because at the end of the day, guys, that's just it's the way that West Ham tactics are. It's the way that West Ham tactics are. It's really, really painful to see that. It really is. Floyd Pinkerton, hello mate. I think it hasn't been a while. Said if we put our heads together, we won't get bashed too hard. Silver says, Eden says, Silver will prove some much needed pace and acceleration, might energize the team, hopefully. Ken Emma says it won't go down well, but I'd get Big Sam back for the last games, mate. I wouldn't be at all. Well, we can't, because the club stupidly came out the other day and said it doesn't matter what happens. Moyes is with us until next season, until the end of next season. So if we're down in the Championship next season, he's still with us. That hasn't come out officially, but it's come out from those links. So I mean, it might have come out officially. I didn't see it. It would be helpful. Lawrence, hello mate, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Brooking to manage the last remaining games. It'd be nice. So Villa, Bournemouth, Norwich, and Brighton all went for the game and took the game to their opponent this week. We didn't. That's exactly what I said 10 minutes ago, mate. Is we didn't go in for a push. We didn't go out all guns blazing like I said we should have done. And we were all hoping we were going to do. Especially bearing in mind that Bournemouth beat the Bournemouth result went catastrophically mental. It was everything was set up. We have to make sure, Bournemouth being beaten set us right up to just to pull ourselves out of it. Didn't happen. Sophie said, I would sack Moyes in the summer regardless if we start and get in Scott Parker again. A player hasn't got enough experience, guys. You have to separate the fact of how good a player is from how good a manager they can be. Two totally different things. Lampard, not proven yet. Gerrard, not proven yet. Kevin Nolan, not proven yet. Scott Parker, not even in the Premier League yet. It's just not good. It's just I understand. Don't get me wrong. I love Nolan. I love Parker. They were great players, but a great player does not dictate a great manager. Look at Paolo Di Canio, prime example. Shit manager. Cracking player. Alex Ferguson, average midfielder. Jose Mourinho coming to the end of his tactical awareness now. Wasn't the best of players when he was playing. Obviously Pep Guardiola is the exception and all that sort of stuff before anybody Lampard's lambast me for that. But this you have to look at both sides. You have to look at both sides. He said he doesn't follow teams. He doesn't follow teams. He relegates. He only manages Prem teams. He's too good to be a manager. Not sure what you're talking about there. Sophie Parker's getting Fulham. Is Scott Parker's getting Fulham promoted this season? We don't know yet. They're still in the playoff positions. Gary Page says Lampard ain't doing too bad at the moment. Yeah, at the moment because at the end of the day, it was a no foul situation for Lampard. Lampard was brought in to ensure. Yeah, let's not forget Lampard was brought in as not as a PR stunt to a degree, but they just bring him in, settle the ship. I mean, guys, Avram Grant won the Champions League with Chelsea and got them to 4th, if I remember correctly. Avram Grant. Yeah, I'm not saying any. I'm saying Lampard is unproven. You tell me what he's done. He got Derby to the playoff final and fucked it. Yeah, it was a very, very good game. Very good game. You know, Villa played really well in that game, but still wasn't able to get him up via the playoff final. It's had 3/4 of a season in the Premier League with Chelsea at the moment. It's not enough information. It's not enough information for anybody to make a rational judgment on what their abilities as a manager is. Slaven Bilic, one of the best managers we ever had a fantastic second season. Fucked it up for 2.5 season and a half after that, mostly because he wasn't being supported. It's background stuff you have to think about, guys. It's the opportunities that are available. Pellegrini, massively had done very well across out of every single club he ever managed. He comes to West Ham, got us to 10th. Fair enough. Second season, fucked it up. You can't but judge a manager's capabilities on the playing styles and the playing career and one season. It's not logical under any circumstances. It's not logical to have to do that. You have to see the bigger picture. You really do. Someone says Lampard is building a team at Chelsea. Yes, because they've had no choice. They've had to dip into the youth setup. I guarantee you watch what happens in the summer transfer window. Eden said agreed. Klopp barely played any football at all. Totally. Lucas, hello mate, good to see you. JP, from what I watched on Saturday, the team does not look like they're up for a scrap to stay up. 100%. Richard says we need the next up and coming manager in the Championship if we get relegated. If they would want the job, yeah, that would help. Scott Parker's the next up and coming manager but it doesn't mean he's going to be able to do anything. You have to, as I say, you have to see what their credentials are, which is why they're trying to go for more established. The managers, the owners of West Ham, are trying to go for more established managers. They've got better CVs than these guys have because they have the experience. I mean, Moyes created a fantastic Everton. Don't get me wrong; he created an absolutely brilliant Everton over those because he had the time, he had the money, and he had the players to do it. You know, but whereas with Man United, he was taking over a very difficult position under any circumstance. I don't care what anybody says. It was one of the hardest things he's ever had to do. Screwed it up. Went abroad. Screwed it up. Didn't get work for a year. We approached him. Came back with relegated Sunderland in exactly the same tone that he's talking at the moment. Right? Screwed it up. Went abroad. Screwed it up. Didn't do any work for eight or 9 months, however long the period was. We got him in. Just about did all right. Owners went, sorry, mate. Thanks for your time, but you're not the manager we need for the next level. Bought him Pellegrini, screwed it up. Bought Moyes in, gave him an 18-month contract. He's not proving himself as yet. Give him a few more days, a few more game days. See where we are after, for example, Norwich and Newcastle and Burnley, that sort of stuff. With 3 games to go, I'll be very surprised if we're safe. I'll be very surprised, but we have to see what's going on at the minute. Gary said he spent no money and brought through youth, and he's about to take Rice. Talking about Lampard there. Good evening, Dale. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Lawrence says, what is going wrong with Anderson? Seems he can't be bothered. Agreed, because it's toxic in the club, mate. It's as simple as that. Mark says he's a good grocery delivery guy, though. Well, we don't know if he actually did it properly or not. You never know. He might have had an assistant to guide him out how to get out of the cab or whatever he was using. Richie says, problem is these managers, they have been around for years and are using out of date tactics. Agreed. We need a manager with a modern take on the game, and that's half the problem, mate. Is because that's where the expensive managers come. That's the problem. That's where the expensive managers come. Ritesh, hey mate, hello mate, good to see you again. All right, let's get some good news and some funny news, eh? Let's just try it. Let's just try and get some entertaining news on this. I don't know I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you actually saw this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? When was the game? Where are we? Where's the date? Where's the date? It doesn't actually come up with the date, but I'm guessing it was yeah, it was yesterday. Celta Vigo played Alaves. They conceded 6 goals in that game. 6 goals, and one was an own goal. But I'm guessing. Let's have a look. Where are we? So Celta Vigo scored on the 14th minute, and then got a penalty on the 21st minute that went in. Rafinha, sorry, yes, not an own goal. Sorry, it was, and they were down to 10 men on the 27th minute. So yeah, Rafinha got a brace in 2 goals in a minute and a half by the looks of it. A second penalty on the 78th minute, and then Santa Mina on the 86th minute. 6 goals Roberto's conceded, and this is the funny thing. But this is where it kind of makes him look okay. Celta Vigo had 10 shots on target and they conceded 6. 69% possession. So they absolutely dominated Alaves, which they would do because it was a 10-man side. You know, that was the thing. You know, that's the hilarious thing. Cody rightly says it is what it is, mate. I love that dignity. Love that picture. Cheer us up. Well, I hope Richie. I hope that has cheered you up, man. Okay, I didn't get to see what Liam said, and don't repeat whatever what is. Obviously, you know, because when you're live and you get some idiots come in every now and again. Eddie says, "Now, Liam, we are community, so take a step back and delete your message." So thank you, Eddie, for your sort of, you know, your support there, mate. That's good. Dell says, "Okay, you hit it. We beat this." Dell, don't start that again. Don't start that again. You know what? You're jinx, Dell. You're an absolute jinx. You tried that on Saturday. We're completely, mate. Now you said 3-1. We're gonna lose. Now you watch. We're gonna lose, and it's all your bloody fault. Gary, hello, mate. I'm not, as you can probably hear, mate. I'm not in the best of moods, if I'm honest. But yeah, as I say, talking about Celta Vigo, Alaves, it's so funny. Conceding 6 goals, including 2 penalties, and a brace in a minute and a half. By the looks of it, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It is so funny. But some good news coming through from the West Ham Youth Academy, shall we say? Is that 19-year-old attacking midfielder Bernardo Rosa, I'm guessing you pronounce it, has signed a contract extension. Basically, the club site says Academy of Football attacking midfielder Bernardo Silva. I'm about to say Bernardo Silva. Then I bloody wish. Hang on, sorry guys, where are we? Just lost the article there for a second. Sorry, guys, Mike, that was my fault. One click too many. One click too many. Oh, you can tell it's not been my afternoon. It really hasn't. But yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about it. So we got Academy of Football starlet Bernardo Rosa has signed a 2-year contract extension with West Ham United. The 19-year-old Brazilian has joined the under-23 teammates Olatani Akinola, Alfie Lewis, Emmanuel Longello, and Sean Adakwa, who all recently signed deals extending his stay in East London. A versatile and consistent performer, Rosser began his attacking career as an attacking midfielder, making his under-18s debut for the Hammers in 2016 at just 16. Russell transitioned to the under-23s last summer, and over 24 appearances in the 1920 season began to apply his trademark diligence position of full-back, attaining 2 goals, 5 assists, and a Premier League 2 Player of the Month nomination for November. Not bad, not bad. I mean, it's their level League 2 version, but still not bad. Such form, Rosser grew rewarded with his debut first-team match day squad appearance. He was named among David Moyes' substitutes for the Premier League fixture at Sheffield United in January. That's who the kid was. Okay. Rosser will now help to use this extension as an opportunity to further his development with the academy and realise his first team aspirations in the future. I'm really happy to sign a new contract with West Ham. I would like to thank my parents for everything they have done for me. They've always supported me in my goals, and all of my coaches. I'm grateful to them. Last season was my best so far. I really worked hard in training, and I feel like I improved a lot, and I was happy I could show that work in my performances. Over the next 2 years, my personal goal is to break into the first team squad and establish myself there, and I'm ready to keep working hard to do so. And blah 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 blah. It's just the usual stuff from the under-23s boss. So, that's the thing, guys. It's just the fact that we've got a prospect breaking through. Maybe, again, why not see him on the bench? If he plays fullback, why not put him on the bench? Make up the numbers and just give him a debut on games where we are safe, if that's going to happen this season. Richie says, my sister supports West Ham and her boyfriend supports Spurs, and she announced they're having a baby. Do I stop talking to my sister? No. Just carry a crucifix around with you, mate. Cody says dishonor. Mark says yes. Gary Megson says, I don't have BT or Sky. Is there any way I can watch the West Ham versus Spurs game? Yes, mate. Google it. Gary says it's just too much money. Agreed. It is. It is too much money. Chris, hello, mate. Hopefully we can win against Spurs. As Noble said, we are going for Spurs and Spurs. Well, obviously we will, as it's a derby. But I hope the club pull their finger out of their butt. Well, that comes on quite nicely. I mean, you missed a lot of Spurs talk, mate. But yes, that comes on quite nicely to Mark Noble's full interview that he's done with the club. It says we've got to turn it around. We go to Spurs away, and we've obviously got a good feeling there from last time, and hopefully we can carry that on. As we know, it will be difficult with no fans, but it will probably benefit us more playing. But it will probably benefit us more playing that we're playing there with none of their crowd. That doesn't sound like Noble. We need some points now. He can't keep looking at other results and see how they go. We've got 8 games to go, and we need to put points on the boards ourselves. And then he talks about the game. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's just the same. It's the same stuff. It was a kick in the teeth. We all knew about Traore. Blah 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 blah. Right, so here we go. So found some updates for you guys for the training and the injuries. So Ogbono's been training the last couple of days, so we see how he is at the ahead of the game. Sebastian Haller is not training yet, and we're a bit worried that Robert Snodgrass might be out for a while. He looks like he's got what looks like a disc problem in his back, so we couldn't give you anything which suggests a return date for him at the moment. So I'm not sure why X is saying he should be back for the weekend. Maybe he's trying to placate people. I don't know. And he's talking about why he didn't play Ben Johnson. Said Ben had been out injured for 6 months prior to that match. We've had the situation where a couple of players have been out for a while. And we've not really had enough of what I would call pre-season friendlies in this period to see exactly where a lot of them are at. It's not just their fitness, but more to do with the level they're playing at. Ben comes into that category a little bit, but he's working every day with the first team, and he has been since he came back. We're hoping to get Ben back to the level we know he was at. I think Jack comes into that group as well, out with a long-term injury, probably not had enough minutes in friendly games at this time of the year, but he's not missed a single training session, so I give him great credit for that. I think he'll be ready to play if we choose to do so. So there you go, guys. That's the update. That's the update on the injuries. Richie said, "I will get her. I will get her. I hate. I will get her. I hate babies. Spurs baby grave." Chris says, "Thoughts on Albert Smith, aka Trip Smith? He has a 10% share in West Ham, and I saw an article saying he's injured in us. Who knows?" Chris, you looking at something that was 18 months ago? Trip Smith was brought in originally to boost the monetary value, but also to gather a consortium. That US consortium thing you've been reading about is basically the next as I say is literally a year or so old. I wouldn't read too much into it. The only reason why it's coming around again is because people have got nothing else to talk about right about at the moment. That's why. So don't take it with a massive pinch of salt. Gary Page, I just wish the Irons would try a bit harder, Yeah. Mark asks, gravy or liquor, John? Well, with pie and mash, obviously, it's got to be liquor all day long. Dell says he's the father. Chris says, favourite meat on a roast, John? Roast pork. Roast pork. Ross says, I'm not putting that up because I don't know what said no JP made this week. No, the article has been verified by everybody that's in the know. It said that article itself is 18 months old. It's as simple as that. Every X has said it. WHU reported it. News Up Mother Brown have reported it as well. It's all not fake news. It's just old news because there's nothing other. I don't care if it's been how long. If it's been doing the rounds again, it's a rumor. It's like with that story about Matty Smith that came out in March. Sorry, Matty Cash, I should say. Matty Cash that came out in March. It's not. That was January. It's old stuff that because people are trying to find things to talk about, so no one was talking about it, so they put that article up again. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing with the same thing with the consortium talk as well. Okay, so Chris is saying it's roast lamb for him. Fair enough. Good. Mark says beef. Sweet. Roast beef is quite nice as well. I'll ignore the temptation for the curtains joke there, mate, because a lot of the people in the chat by the looks of it won't get it. All right, guys, we've got 10 minutes to go. Have you got anything you guys want to talk about while I have a look to see what's rolling around in the news, so to speak? That's not rumor or conjecture, as it always is at these times. Wish Tripp would buy a majority share in the club. It's never going to happen, mate. But agreed, 100%. I'm not putting your second one up, man. You're a jinx. She said, when I used to eat meat, it was pork, but all I wanted was a plate of crackling. Oh, crackling's gorgeous. Eden says, do you think who do you think are the best owners in the Premier League? I'd say probably the Fenway. Is it the Fenway Group who owns Liverpool? I think they are the best owners in the league. They've done miracles with Liverpool over the last few seasons. They really have. Gary says, your favourite West Ham goal. Gary, we've already answered that many times. I think last time that was asked, it was you. Chris says, have you ever had a donation, JP? Donation for what? Do you mean a super chat? B Curry 24. Hello, mate. What signings do you think we should go for if we stay up? I would personally, as I say, I can't name players, but the signings we need to do is we need a right back, especially with Ngakia potentially going. We need a left back. We need a centre back. We need cover in goal as well. For that matter, I don't think backups are decent enough for it. Also, we need two strikers and we need a box-to-box midfielder. Dale says no Noble tomorrow would be good. We lack a creative midfield, but I can't think of anybody else that would help there, mate. Mark says Leicester is well run. Yes, it is. Yeah. Sophian says ideal McDonald's order. There isn't one. I don't like McDonald's, as you know. Eddie says these children need to give up being rude. We're just all here talking football, having a good time, and they're trying to ruin it. Shameful. Agreed. Totally. Because they think they are people and they're not. They're trying to make a name for themselves. Chris says, yeah, super chat. Yes, many times. Rick normally gives us a super chat, but I've told him not to because because he's a patron for the channel, so there's no need for him to do it, but he keeps doing it. Bless him. Ross Dissy says, do we have money to buy players? It doesn't look like it, especially with all the coronavirus stuff. Alfie says, will Leicester get Champions League or will Spurs pick it up? Either's very possible. I've got a funny feeling Leicester are going to stay all right. I think they're going to be fine. I think they were just about do it, but you never know. Lucas says 1-1 tomorrow night. My prediction: drop Noble if he looks like he needs another 3 months off. We'll shoot in. I would drop Noble, to be fair, mate. Yeah, if we had the opportunity to do so. But yeah, nothing's happened so far. It's just it looks like Rick's been doing his moderator job very well. So hats up to him. Unlike some people we can mention, yeah, you can't multitask. All right, so some breaking news about the lockdown, where it says on Monday night the government said since March, 2.2 million Brits have been shielding indoors and from COVID-19. However, on Monday night the government finally offered those most vulnerable from the deadly virus a lifeline as it announced a string of major changes. The most vulnerable lockdown has effectively meant being shut away indoors during the outbreak. Now, the Mirror reports a plan to unlock those doors in two stages on July the 6th and the 1st of August have been released. From the 6th of July, people shielding can go out and meet up to 5 friends, and if they live alone, form a bubble with another household, as we talked about beforehand. From August the 1st, the advice to shield ends completely. So that backs up exactly what me and Marshy were talking about a little while back, and I've been saying for quite a while. I said we'll look, the lockdowns we'll get pretty much our lives back in July, August time, and it's being confirmed. Health Secretary Matt Hancock announced, now with the infection rates continuing to fall in our communities, our medical experts have advised that we can now ease some of these measures while keeping people safe. But charities warn there is too much dangerous ambiguity, and people could have a vital support withdrawn or feel forced back to work unsafely. There is not ambiguity. It's very, very straightforward what the government has been saying for the last 3 months. I don't understand how people can actually just. I don't see how people can actually just not understand it. I just don't get it. It just does my head in. It really, really does. What of stay 2 meters away from each other does it not say? What is ambiguous? What about the order where it said only go out if you absolutely have to? Where was the ambiguity behind that? It does my head in that people are stupid, and therefore you can't blame the people, because they're the people that buy the newspapers. Therefore you blame the government, so more people buy the newspapers. It does my fucking head in. So from the 6th of July, there will be 2 major changes for the people shielding. Firstly, people who are shielding will be able to join gatherings of up to 6 people outdoors. These gatherings can form up to 6 different households, but anyone from separate households must maintain a 2-meter distance. This follows the rules that were unveiled for the rest of England from June the 1st. Secondly, people who are shielding and live alone or are single parents will be able to join the supports bubble system, as we've already mentioned. Changes from the 1st of August. You have no from the 1st of August, those that are clinically vulnerable in England will be officially told they no longer have to shield from the virus. It will bring to an end a period of isolation lasting more than 4 months. While they should strictly follow social distancing rules, they will be able to get back to work if they cannot work from home, visit shops and places of worship. And then it just goes and it just goes on about, it's about a few other things. So let's see what everyone's talking about in the chat before we wrap this up. Sophie asks, what's more common, Jack Wilshere playing a full season or Norwich winning the league? Well, to be honest with you, Sophie, Wilshere played all but 2 games for Bournemouth, so that's nearer the point. Dale says Moyes gets a win tomorrow, then he gets hailed the Mosiah. Or the most, we knew you meant the most likely, mate. Lennon Pinkerton, this is wonderful to see someone still passionate about football. Thank you very much, Lennon. We're not the only one here. We're not the only ones here. And as Alfie says too, right? Thank you, guys. Lena, hello, darling. UK doing so much better than the US. Well, if it was person for person, I reckon the ratios would be the same, to be honest, or probably slightly worse, but you never know. One player you can interview tomorrow, past and present. Who is it? Trevor Brooking, the man that scored the goal on the day I was born. Lena says, I'm so jealous of you lot. Well, that's what happens. You should have stayed in the UK when you had the chance, darling. Lucas says, I can't wait. I'm one of those. It has been so hard locked in on my own for over 3 months. I feel your pain, mate. I've been working from home, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Mark says, passing the buck, John. People don't want to take responsibility for their actions. Yeah, just see the chat tonight, for example. I'd love to donate, but spend all my money on a watch that doesn't work. You got a Del Boy watch, have you, Lennon? I hope you come back at some point. Alfie says, predictions for City versus Burnley. Burnley have no wood, but could City be disgruntled about Sane? I think it's going to be 3-1 City, I think, mate, to be honest with you. Eddie, you love the channel. The only one who talks straight facts about footy like the old days. Well, I'm not the only one, Eddie, but thanks, appreciate. I mean, West Ham Fan TV do the same thing. Hammers Chat do the same thing. Loads of even my mate over in Wellington in New Zealand, AJ with the Kiwi Hammers, we're all pretty much the same sort of thing. But thank you, mate. That's very kind of you. Leonard says you should have done. Yeah. You should have said anything, but too late to come back now. Right, guys. Thank you very much. Let's wrap it up there. So we've had the full hour. Apologies for it going over time, but that was mostly because of this piece of shit. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get the new laptop up and running perfectly for tomorrow night. come back here at 6:30 every evening. We will do the daily live chat as always. Plus, we'll talk about, obviously, we'll do more conversations about the Spurs game tomorrow, including when the team sheet goes up at 7:15. Or would it be 7 or 7:15, depending on how? I think it's normally an hour before kickoff, so it's yeah. So anyways, from 7 o'clock we'll talk about the team sheet, and then from 8 and then there'll be half an hour break, and then from 8 o'clock we'll do the live watch along, do a bit more of a build up, and then talk about the game as and when it happens. So guys, thank you very, very much for your time. If you're new around here, like there's been quite a few new faces on here, then by all means, please do hit subscribe to get us to a decent, healthy number. As I say, we were, at the time of this broadcast, we were five subscribers away from 500 and 1550. So if we can hit that tonight, that'd be absolutely perfect, but it doesn't have to be. So if we hit that, there's only another 50 to the 1600, and that means I can do the live gig for you guys. Hopefully I can get everything up and working. But in the meantime, guys, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy your evening. I hope we've been able to relax each other and calm down a little bit and just have a bit of a laugh, as it always is. But in the meantime, guys, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.